Hello, guys. Welcome to the True Fan Channel. Today, I have Anthony from Gunner TV, and I have the gaming channel here. Thank you, guys, for joining an hour earlier than thought, but don't worry about that.
Yeah, David, of course, in this business, we're always busy.
Yeah.
I came to your first premiere show. It was wonderful. Your other show with Ryan, it was such a blessed show. Man, I'm just trying to keep up with everything you're doing now, man.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gaming channel, you're welcome to the show too.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, nice to see you. How's your Saturday going?
So far, good.
Good.
So far, it's good.
David, no, David, no Manchester United football, no Manchester United game this weekend. How are you feeling?
Not so bad. I watched the women at 12 o'clock. Completely destroyed Reading 4-0. Um, but yeah, I'm just putting it on Insta. Yeah. So yeah, no, I watched the women at 12. That was a good
Yeah.
game. Um, I've got the I've got Soccer Saturday on, but I mean, there's not really anyone I'll be looking for. I see City won three. I think it was 3-0 in the end. Um, yeah, 3-0. Grealish, Haaland, and Foden. So I think Grealish and Foden and Haaland must have been watching our shows because me and Ryan were criticising Grealish the other day, and you were saying that Haaland can't score tap-ins, and he scores one from outside the box with his weaker foot.
Yeah.
So I think they've been watching our show.
But
Um,
but again, why is yeah, I watched that show. I'm a big fan of yours, David.
yeah,
But why is Grealish taking all that grilling from you
because
guys the other day?
he's shit.
I really rate Grealish.
That's
I really
probably the only
rate
one,
him.
mate.
I really
Yeah,
rate him, and of course, Pep Guardiola knows it's very very valuable to that Manchester City team. I think it gives England a different dynamics in the wing.
you're probably the only one who thinks that then, because I don't think it. Ryan didn't think it. Uh, so it is quite crazy. But yeah, I don't think he should be in the England squad. But then I don't think Luke Shaw should. I don't think Harry Maguire should. I don't think Mason Mount should. I don't think Dean Henderson. I don't think Dean Henderson should. I don't think Saka should. I don't think Harry Kane should. There's,
I actually rate Dean Anderson.
I don't. I think he's shit.
Oh,
I only,
I rate him. He has been having quite good, lots of good saves this
yeah,
season. He has been good this season. He's been performing quite well. You know,
yeah,
for the kind
yeah.
of
But
for the kind of team he plays, he has been playing quite well.
personally, I think.
Or what do
I
you
mean,
think?
I haven't been watching him, but he's conceded too many goals, in my opinion. Only Bournemouth have conceded more, and that's because they got beat 9-0. Um,
Well,
but uh, yeah, but I mean, the England squad it's just a joke. I mean, Chilwell shouldn't be in it, and it brings some question. I had a conversation with Ryan about it last night, and I completely forgot about this left back. Why isn't Rico Henry in the England squad? He's playing for Brentford. He's doing really well for them, and then he picks Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell, who isn't even playing for their teams. Gaming channel, I don't think we can hear you.
Oh,
Gaming channel, speak.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
yeah,
now.
we can
Hello?
hear you. We can hear you now.
Yeah,
Yes, sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. It's very, very low. Yeah, but I mean, Rico Henry, I think he's done a great job at Brentford, and I'm like, why isn't he being picked in the team? If Ivan Toney can play for Brentford and get in the England squad, I mean, to be honest, I do think he's probably England's best out-and-out striker at the moment, over Kane. I hope Ivan Toney does play in one of these two games, because as I said to Ryan yesterday, when we played in the Euros, Harry Kane was shit, and even though Dominic Calvert-Lewin had come off a fantastic season, he still never trusted him to come on and change the game. So I do think that Ivan Toney should come on and change the games, and if it means taking Harry Kane off, then take Harry Kane off, because he could have gone. He could have been took off in about 4 or 5 of the Euro games, and he could have been dropped as well. He was just so shocking. He had about maybe 2 decent games, that was it, and one was against a shit Germany side. So it's crazy.
David, you're talking about Harry Kane here.
Yeah.
He's your captain. Of course, I'm an Arsenal fan, but when we're talking about that England team, we have to keep rivalry aside, because Harry Kane, we all know his antecedent in the English league for Tottenham, and we also know what he has done for the English team. There are times he might not, uh, really come up with the goods for that England team, but he has the trust of Gareth Southgate. Southgate really loves Kane. There is no way that Gareth in any way would ever drop a Harry Kane in any way. I don't see that even occurring in any scenario.
The thing,
And again,
Yeah,
Kane helps the overall kind of setup. That English team is actually built around Harry Kane. His captaincy, it means a lot to that English team. I don't really see him, Gareth Southgate, flinching in any way with Harry Kane.
see, I just feel that the best to get out, the best way to get the best out of certain players is for them to have competition. It's just like we were saying about Saka the other day. Saka's not got competition at Arsenal, so with nobody sitting on the bench where Saka will think, if I'm playing shit, I'm going to get took off for this person. And I think Harry Kane needs to realise that if he plays shit, then Ivan Toney's going to come on and replace him. Or Marcus Rashford at the World Cup. It's
Rashford. If I were you, I'll be very, very careful with those statements when you're bringing in Rashford to this England team.
Arsenal.
Totally understandable, but again, David, you don't have to just look at the recent form. Sometimes you have to go way back and check throughout the whole season. How has Rashford's overall gameplay, not just his scoring of goals, but his overall gameplay, how has it been for Manchester United?
Well, last season he was shit. Just last season.
Definitely. So him scoring those 2 goals against Arsenal really propped him up. But is that enough? Is that enough to get him into that England team? Even you would say it's not enough, really. Do you think it's enough?
Well, maybe not in front of Harry Kane, because I still say that Rashford's best position is on the left, and I'm looking at the wingers: Grealish, Saka, who's probably more right winger. Grealish, Saka. There's one I'm completely forgetting, and I can't think of his name. There is a few.
There's Sterling. There's also Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling. Yeah, and I'm thinking at the moment I'd play Sterling on the right, Rashford on the left, and I would actually play Ivan Toney up front. But it's crazy. I mean, the thing is, me and Ryan were saying last time he didn't take the Nations tournament properly. But it's like I said to Ryan, it might not be as prestigious as a World Cup or the Euros, but it's probably harder to win because in the group stage, you've got Italy, you've got Germany. Whereas in the World Cup, the Euros, you've got shitty teams like Iran and USA and a a mid-table team in Wales, where an England team should be getting 9 points from them. Whereas against England, Italy, Italy, Germany, you have to work hard to get the win, and then you're not going to get an easy game in the knockout stages. I mean, I'm not saying Denmark were easy. I mean, they got to the semi-final of the Euros, but England should be beating Denmark all day long. They came up against a shit Germany team. Again, they played Ukraine, who are not the best. And so people going on and on and on about England getting to the Euro finals. Yeah, fine, they did it. They could only beat what was put in front of them. But when they came up against Italy, a top side, they lost. And they didn't.
Was Italy even a top side in that tournament? I don't really think they were really that top. They just had players who could just really make the difference at the time. It wasn't really like a very, very tough Italian team. Most of their defenders were aging defenders. Chiellini was also there. If England had a very, very good setup and was actually set up well by Gareth Southgate, I really think that they would have, done that Italian team dirty in that Euro finals. But
I think if Gareth Southgate had balls, we would have won the final, because it's like I said to Ryan the other day. He brought Rashford and Saka on in the 119th minute to take a penalty, and I don't even think they touched the ball until they took the penalty. Rashford was injured, so bringing him on to take a penalty, that's fine. But Saka could have come on 20 minutes earlier, and he could have changed the game. He could have won the game rather than being on penalties. Harry Kane had a shocker in the final, and
it happened.
It does. But I don't understand. You're in the final, and you need balls, to take off your one of your best players and bring Calvert-Lewin on. If it hadn't worked, he would have got crucified. Fine, but that's a gamble you take. So it's Gareth Southgate for me isn't a decent manager. He may have got England to the semi-final of the World Cup, the Euro final, but when they came up against top teams, they faltered. And I'm not including Germany. I'm not including Germany in it, because Germany was shit at the Euros. I do. So it is.
So in other words, you don't rate Gareth Southgate. Is that what?
Okay. I don't rate him one bit. He says, he comes out and he says he's picking players on form, and yet he picked Rashford for the Euros when before January he was shit hot. From January onwards he wasn't. So there's one player, and then you've just got to look at the England squad that he's picked for the Nations League. It's definitely not picking people on form. I mean, me and Ryan did go on about it. Maybe he's picked Maguire, Shaw, because they've never let Southgate down, so he knows he can trust them. And I can see
David, are you serious?
No,
Maguire, even you were out for him. And there was a match. When you came to my show, there was a match you came for an analysis of, and you were fuming at Maguire.
Yeah.
How in God's name, if Gareth Southgate is choosing this England team by merit and by the works of their hands, how is a Harry Maguire in that team?
I agree.
He's actually sitting on the bench of that Manchester United team. How? What is he doing?
Yeah, I agree. But
in that England team.
Exactly. But what me and Ryan was saying was, for England, Maguire always puts in 110%. He never has a bad game for England. It's a shame. It's the same for Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw at that Euros was one of the best players that England had, along with Maguire. And but for United, the shit. Well, Maguire's been shit. Shaw, I don't know what happened to him last season, but I think it's harsh to say single Shaw out when everybody was shit for us last season, apart from maybe 3 players. I do think that. I think I agree with what Ryan said. I think he's picked Maguire, Chilwell, Mount, because, well, I wouldn't even say Mount's done anything for England. Mount is just completely overrated. I mean, I found a stat last night. I think he's played 7 games in the league this season, no goals, no assists. And Willian, a washed up Arsenal Chelsea player playing for Aston Villa, has played 2 games and he's already got an assist. It putting Mason Mount in in the mud, really. I don't
Yeah.
rate. I've never rated Mount. I think he's completely overrated. I think the way Chelsea fans go on about him, I'm like, are you really settling for this player to be decent for you, because he's absolutely dog shit. And it's not like he's playing for a small club. I
Yeah.
mean, Chelsea, they've had the likes of Lampard.
Chelsea's a very, very big
Yeah,
club.
but they've had
Yeah.
like Lampard, Hazard, Ballock. I mean, there's 3 off the top of my head. I'm sure I can name a couple more. And then all of a sudden they're settling for Mason Mount, who's, in my opinion, maybe championship material. I just think he's so shit that I've got
Well,
to.
well, there's always this scenario where most clubs always want to be the next club that finds the perfect English midfielder. There's always that fight. It was always there in when Lampard was playing for Chelsea, when
Yeah.
Gerrard was also playing for Liverpool. It has always been there. Mount, it is young. It's just really, at that phase, man. He's gone through lots of managers in that Chelsea team. Sometimes all these things,
Mhm.
these changes actually have a toll on players. I don't know. Probably we that just go out to watch these matches, we don't know the toll these things take on an individual player. Your styles change in your team according to the coach that comes into your side in your club. So when you've been demanded to like take up serious serious diversions in the type of game that you play. Lampard wanted Mount to keep going up front, but Tuchel wanted him to just be in and about in that midfield area, trying to create passes for the offensive players. So this changing dynamics has a way of affecting players or getting into their head or kind of like affecting their confidence. I just really think that that's what is really wrong with Mason Mount. I rate him. He's a decent player, not an elite player, but a decent player. And he's one of those kind of player that yeah, he might not be in top form, but he's one of these kind of English players that could just snap at any minute and could just produce this sort of like one moment of magic. And I think that's
Mhm.
what Gareth Southgate sees in him. Of course, mind you, Gareth Southgate has this it has this kind of like loyalty. He begs for loyalty. He demands loyalty. And when he gets that loyalty, he's going to repay that loyalty back to you. And I definitely feel that that's why Maguire's in that team, because how else is Maguire supposed to be in that team? We all know what happened at Manchester United. How is he in
Yeah.
that team? It's not by merit. It's by those who are very, very loyal to Gareth Southgate. Will it bite him at the end of the whole games? I think it's left out for the jury to really look into this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the jury's
mean,
out.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know who's going to the World Cup yet. But for me, I'll be happy if teams like England, Portugal, Brazil, Argent. Is it your? No, it's World Cup in it. Yeah, Brazil, Argentina, France, Holland, all get knocked out in the group stages. Just because the quicker they get knocked out, the more rest that Man United players can have.
Yeah.
Because I honestly do not care I put it on. I put it on a post. I can't remember even. I can't remember. It might have been yours or Ryan's or somebody else's. And I said that Iran was going to beat England 6-0. Then I think USA to win 4-0, and then we were going to beat Wales 5-4 or 4-3, one of the two. But we'll get knocked out in the group stages. I can't see it happening. I mean, we should be beating Iran. We should be beating USA. Wales
Well,
really are the Wales are
well,
really the
no one gave the England team a chance during the Euros. Absolutely everyone thought they were dog shit when they went to that Euros, and of course, they pulled it off. They went to the finals.
yeah, but
I
they got
think
a different manager
yeah, exactly. So,
and they
this I
cheated.
think. Well, it depends on how you look at it. But in other
Denmark
words,
game.
the English team kind of like, took teams by surprise. Harry Kane stepped up in games that he should step up. I'm not talking of the final
Mhm.
itself, but I'm talking about the games leading to the final. Harry Kane, and that's what I think he sees in Harry Kane. Because in that English team, David, can you name me one elite player in that team that can take the reins of the captaincy? I'm not talking of someone whose form is really top form right now. But I'm looking at that kind of player who could be able to back out orders when the team isn't playing quite well. I'm talking of that charismatic leader who could be able to get you a goal at any time during the match. Who do you think that
Um,
can be?
I think
It's
like
Harry
leader wise,
Kane.
I think leader wise, I think Declan Rice. I think he could do a really good job as captain. He could shout at his defence, he could shout at the midfield, and the strikers is in that position. For goals,
That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
for goals though, it's 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 crazy because me personally, I don't think in the England team we have a prolific goal scorer, even Harry Kane. Um, we need we need to start playing like I'm gonna say it. We need to stop playing like Man United last season, and we need to start playing like Man United this season. Last season it was a bunch of individuals. This season we're playing as a team, and this is what England need to do. They need to
But
they need to
how many Manchester United players have graced the English squad? In Gareth Southgate's team right
No,
now.
I'm not. No,
How many?
I'm not saying have just United players. But what I'm saying is, last season it was literally Ronaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldo. It was all about. It was just individual performance.
Yeah,
This season we're playing as a team, and this is what England need to do. They need to start playing as a team. I mean, personally, like I
yeah.
said, I don't care if we get knocked out in the group stages. I don't even care if we win. I will. I
You
won't be.
should care.
I
You're
won't
English.
I won't be going out celebrating and throwing my beer up in the air if England win the World Cup. I won't give a shit. If anything, I'll probably be a bit pissed off because it means that probably Rashford, Sancho will probably have less rest. And as I've already said, I'd prefer all my United players to either A, not be picked, or B, get knocked out early um so we get more time because I don't agree with the World Cup being where it is. I don't agree with the time it is. Um, I'm I'm always United versus I'm always United before England. Always. I'm United ladies, United reserves, all before England. I'm United through and through. I have United blood in me. I don't have English blood
Yeah,
in me.
yeah.
So to me, I wouldn't want Rashford to go to the World Cup and get injured. Same for Bruno. Even Ronaldo. He might not be playing for us, but he can still do a job for us. And I wouldn't want him to go to the World Cup and get injured. Um, I'd love him. I'd love a United player to win the World Cup if it's Portugal, Brazil, Holland, England. But I'll be
Yeah.
so. But if England win it, I'll be celebrating whoever's in the England squad for United, representing United. That's all. It's just I don't care about England. They blame United players too often when they get knocked out instead of
When you get
blaming.
knocked out, but historically, Manchester United, the Manchester United team itself, in itself, used to bring out nearly up to half of the English team before.
Yeah.
But now we really need to look deep into this Gareth Southgate team right now. For me, which is a precursor to his World Cup. Of course, this is just a tentative list, but again, this shows you his mindset right now, leading to the World Cup. So let's just see how many Manchester United players are there, and try to see if we could corroborate it with their form. Luke Shaw is there right now. Harry Maguire was chosen in the squad. Who else was there again?
That's it.
That's it. So that shows you the level of Manchester United in the
Agree.
league. Yeah.
Agree.
So
But it
yeah,
also shows what shit manager Southgate is for choosing people that haven't been playing for the team.
they haven't been playing exactly. So
I mean, me personally, if I was to look into the future now and tell you who would go to the World Cup from United, that's playing for United now. I'm not going to include
Yeah.
Henderson. I
Yeah.
think it's Rashford, Sancho. That's it. That's it. I don't think anybody else from United will go.
Even Rashford was placed side by side in most dailies in the UK. He was placed side by side with Ivan Toney. So it's either they choose an Ivan Toney or they choose a Rashford.
Ivan,
Rashford,
it
put
depends
up
where
2
you're going to play
goals
Rashford.
against Arsenal, but then Ivan Toney is one of the most deadliest and dangerous strikers in the Premiership right now. He had a
Exactly.
hat trick. He had a hat trick in his last game.
He's going to get a
He
hat trick
is
tomorrow.
exactly. He has made sure that Brentford has been fortified in Brentford Community Stadium down there in London. He's a big part of that team. He's their go-to guy. He's the number one guy for Brentford. And this is what Gareth Southgate sees in him. He wants that kind of a hurricane type of character, someone that carries a team. That's what Gareth Southgate really wants in that English team. And I think he has got his man in Ivan Toney. Did he make the right decision leaving out a Rashford for Ivan Toney? David, I think the answer is yes. Judging by current form, Ivan Toney is more deadly than a Rashford in front of goal.
But I would play Rashford on the left. I'd play Rashford on the left, though.
But when you have seasoned wingers like Saka and Sterling, who's doing quite well. Yes, Sterling is also in a very very poor Chelsea team, but you cannot deny that where their goals have been
he's done
coming
well.
from has been from Sterling. So definitely there is no how he would have left out a Sterling or a Saka. He has so much belief in Saka, and mostly after what happened to Saka with the whole racism storm after he lost that penalty. I don't really think it would be in social circles and in political circles. I don't really think that it would be good enough for him to even leave Saka out. Even me, that of course, I come from the Arsenal podcast. Of course, you know that,
Also,
but.
no,
Yeah, you're welcome, the gaming channel.
sorry,
It-
internet connection.
no,
Go on,
it's no
carry on.
problem. It's no problem. And even right now, David, we all know that Saka is very, very tired.
Yeah.
He has been overworked in that Arsenal team, and I'm really sorry. You're making sense with this Rashford coming down on the wings, because I really do think that Saka would really struggle in the wings
Yeah.
this season.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I seriously do think so.
if I was an Arsenal fan, okay, as you've said, he's been played over. Oh, he's been played too much. He doesn't have the competition. Arteta's refusing to rest him. He's refusing to try other players, even if
Keeps
they're young.
playing him.
And to be honest, if I was an Arsenal player, I'd actually be happy if Saka didn't go to the World Cup, because that's not what he needs. He needs a rest.
Exactly.
I totally agree with you. But of course, it's just like a player who is always performing in his team in the Premiership, and then you have no say in terms of playing in the Champions League. The World Cup is the cream de la cream of football. It's every player's dream, no matter how young you are, no matter even if you're
Charlie
in your
Patino's
prime.
just scored.
It's the cream de la cream of every
Anthony,
player. So even if Saka has been overused in Arsenal, he'll definitely want to go to the World Cup.
Charlie Patino's
Yeah.
just scored.
Who?
Oh
Charlie
yeah, Patino! Yeah.
Yep.
You know, it's very good. We have all these players who are out on loan, scoring
Yep.
and doing quite well. It's
Yep.
English, full-blooded English guy. You know, Arsenal-blooded a teenager. I hope he could come back after next season.
Mhm.
David,
Yep.
you can see what loan deals can do to players. It can completely turn players around.
Look
Yeah,
at
boost
Beckham.
the career. I know.
Look
He
at
went to
David
Preston,
Beckham.
didn't he, or something?
Yeah.
Went to
Yeah.
Preston.
The gaming channel. What do you think about Gareth Southgate? Because I was having a little chit chat with David, our big friend here, and
Oh, yeah.
what do you think about Gareth Southgate? Do you think that team he chose is credible in any way?
I don't think he's going to stay. I don't. That's not a
You
very
with
good team,
David?
in my opinion. It's not a good
Yeah.
team.
Have you shit?
Yeah.
But yeah, going on because we're probably have to going to stop this in about.
It's not a good team.
Yeah, about 15, 20 minutes. Tony, I saw your post on because obviously we're going to the Brentford game now. As I've said many times, it's going to be 3-2 tomorrow to Brentford. Tony's going to get after it. And I see like, is this the best 11 for Arsenal? So you've got Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel, Tierney, Xhaka, Lukonga, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Jesus. And you're asking, is that your strongest? Is that your strongest side?
I wasn't asking if it was the stronger side.
No, but
But I'll let you finish.
Yeah, without
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Even without injuries, I would probably take two or three of them out. Personally,
Yeah.
I'd take Saliba out, and I'd play Ben White.
Exactly. Saliba's
good.
He wanted to leave. He wanted to leave a few seasons ago.
Yeah. And I would take Saka and Martinelli out, and I'd play Smith Rowe, and I would try either Marquinhos or Fabio Vieira. That's
okay. That's a big call. That's a very, very big call. And when you're talking about Emil Smith Rowe is injured, he's out with a muscle injury. Arsenal is actually battling an injury infestation in the team. Ben White coming into this match, there have been rumors that he is injured. Smith Rowe has been plagued by muscle injury almost throughout the season. He has been playing, and every time he has always come on, he's always clutching on his muscle. He has very, very big pain in his muscle. He has been struggling throughout this season, so I think he's out for today for tomorrow's game.
I'd play Marquinhos and Vieira on the wings. Saka needs a rest, and who've you got? I forgot. Oh, Brentford, of course it is. I do think that you've just got to look at Sir Alex Ferguson, best manager ever. Or no, there's no two ways about it. Nobody comes close. Don't care what anybody says. Bob Paisley, no. The other Scouser, whose name I can't bloody remember.
Is it Klopp or
Mourinho's? No, Klopp's nowhere near. He had faith in his youth team. Beckham, Scholes, but Giggs, Neville. And I'm not saying that Fabio Vieira is David Beckham. I'm not saying Marquinhos is Ryan Giggs. But I mean, the best way to get the best out of these youngsters is by playing them in big games. And Saka needs a rest. It's clear to see that. And I don't think tomorrow will be a game for Saka. If I'm truly honest, I think Brentford will play quite tight, so I don't think Saka will get a lot of run on the ball. So I'm thinking maybe rest him, bring him on in the hour mark, and then
Yeah.
try and use his pace against a weakened Rico Henry, who's been running around like headless chicken for an hour. I think that's the best way to go. But I mean, I'm not a football manager. I mean, Arteta is, but I mean, if Arteta was to drop Saka tomorrow and Marquinhos or Caballero do a job, then I'll come on here and I'll say I told you so.
Well, I really don't see Ivan Tony putting 3 goals. Like I told you, I'm a big fan of this
He
show.
could score
I
one
was
goal.
watching.
He could score a goal.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah. Of course, but I think
there's a
it's
good
an
chance he will
overreach.
score at least one goal, but I don't see him scoring a hat trick.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
How good
an excessive
Ramsdale is.
overreach when you playing against Arsenal and you just
Yeah.
predict that you'll put 3 goals behind the second best team in the league, according to Thomas Frank, who's their coach, who's the coach for Brentford. And mind you, there's lots of mind games going through the mind of Thomas Frank because we have to check adjoining issues that also affect the club before coming into a match. Thomas Frank, who has been one of the best performing coaches in the Premier League, has had his head turned by him being linked with a job, with that job in Brighton. Mind you, Brighton is still playing without a coach right now. Adam Lallana, who is a player for Brighton, has been in instated there as the temporary coach to coach Brighton. And over these few weeks, since Porter has taken his flight to Chelsea Football Club, Thomas Frank has been in the dailies that he is the best one to actually replace Porter in that Brighton dugout. So his head has been turned. But he came out in the press conference for this weekend games, and he said it would take something special and something crazy special to lure me away from Brentford. What does that statement mean? It means that if a big tangible offer comes, his head will be turned on. So his head is not even really with Brentford right now, if I am the one to judge about that. But mind you, Brentford has always had a very, very seasoned performance
They do
in
very good,
Brentford Community
Brentford.
Stadium. Can you believe it, David, that out of 22 London derbies that has been played in Brentford Community Stadium, that Brentford has only, okay, let me don't put only, Brentford has won 17 in 22 London derbies being played in Brentford Community Stadium. That shows you how strong they are. Their first 2 wins in the Premiership this season out of 6
One was against
were
Arsenal.
in Brentford
that.
Community Stadium.
First
Yeah,
one
so
when
that shows you how
when
big
they
that
got
team
promoted
is.
was against Arsenal.
Yeah, right now it
I know
shows you
that.
how ready they are this season. They have a 15-9 goal difference. That means they are poaching in the goals. It means that Ivan Tony is red hot. He's on fire.
Yeah.
So in any case, this game isn't going to be like a walk in the park for Arsenal. Arsenal will have to dig deep to be able to win this game today.
That's
Sunday.
one reason why I think maybe don't start with your strongest team, because I think if anything, you're going to win the game in the last half hour of the match.
Yeah.
And as we've said many times, you just don't have the players on the bench to come off and change the game.
Anyway, we'll still talk about that. But David, because I know you're very you really love your history, so I'll just give you a little bit of a nickel with the history.
It's a shame
with
Man
this
City don't have a
Arsenal-
history.
Exactly, with this Arsenal versus Brentford match. David, do you know that Brentford, in out of 6 home matches against Arsenal, that they've been able to win 5 matches in these 6 games. Arsenal has only been able to win just 1 in Brentford Community Stadium. And
And was
4 of those matches that have been won by Brentford, 4 of them was pre-World War II games. Can you imagine that? So that's just a little bit of
It just shows that Brentford are a bigger club than Arsenal.
I knew you'll come up with that, but I know you're an historian,
say-
so it's good for me to just give you a little bit of history down there.
Hold on.
And of course, the fifth win was
Can I just say
last
something
season
as
when
well?
they beat us up
Yeah.
in Brentford
Gaming
Community
channel, what were
Stadium.
you saying?
Yeah, gaming channel.
I've just seen a post from ESPN FC, and Marco Royce is out for another major competition now.
Oh well.
He's injured for another competition.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. So that Brentford game, the major battle will be in the midfield, where we have Jensen, Janot, and Baptiste. Uh, of course, Odegaard would have to do more than just running and throwing those slicky passes. He has to do more than that. He has to be running deep, because these are guys that can actually outmuscle you. They are fast, they are pacey. They have a player in Lewis who is very, very fast, on that left wing. And they also have an Mbeumo who is very, very fast and tactical. He could actually bully players. He plays right there on the I think he plays on the right hand side, while Ivan Toney is the one that completes that diamond circle 4-3-3 in which Brighton plays. That's a very, very important kind of formation, unlike Arsenal. That plays a different kind of formation. So the mixing styles will be quite interesting. But the major battle will be in that midfield. I don't know. I'm hearing from some quarters that Thomas Partey might be coming back for this game. So, let's see. If he comes, it changed the whole dynamics. Want to say something, Gaming Channel?
Is Partey injured?
Yes, he was injured, but mind you, they said he's back in training. Pictures that came out from our Coney training center shows that he was playing and he's fit for that game. So maybe Arteta is planning to play some mind games with the Brentford coaching staff down there.
I've just seen some photos that Arsenal literally just posted about 5-10 minutes ago, and both Partey and Ben White were training today. So, but the thing is, if he has to play Tomiyasu at right back, White is not a right back in my opinion, and I sort of feel that to stop Ivan Toney, you need Gabriel and Ben White, because I don't think Saliba's good enough to contain Toney. I think
David, what's your problem with Saliba? Saliba is one of the best centre backs in the Premier League this season. Is one of the best. Can you name me any Manchester United defender that is actually stronger than Saliba right now this season?
Who?
Aaron Maguire.
The Gaming Channel. Please, can we just have a laugh with what David just said right now? Can we just give David? The Queen. Back in my show, I don't know if you did that in your show here, David. We gave a moment of silence for the Queen, in which we paid reverence to the Queen. Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth. It's just good that me and Gaming Channel could just laugh that off for you. Harry Maguire to Saliba. Are you absolutely drunk?
He's probably right, to be fair.
Are you absolutely drunk?
I've got nothing against Saliba.
Saliba is a truck. Saliba is a truck.
Maguire.
But I think Ben White and Gabriel are better. Honestly,
no. Maguire. No.
Ben White and Gabriel. Ben White and Gabriel are your main partnership, and it should be. I think
if you even brought up the name of Martinez, I would say okay, because Martinez, of course, this is his first season in the Premier League.
He's doing well so far.
Yeah, exactly. He's a good runner. He has that strength. And again, he's very, very stubborn. When you
Yeah.
have a defender that's extremely stubborn, he doesn't just want to give up. That
I know
kind
he
of
keeps
player
going
is the
and
kind
going
of
and going.
player
Keeps
that would
going.
go
He's
very,
solid.
very far.
He won't stop for
Very
nothing.
solid behind.
Yeah.
David, I think you have a very solid defender in
Yeah.
Martinez. Yes,
And
you
Varane.
paid
Well,
you paid quite big, huge
the
amount of
injury.
money for him anyway.
Yeah,
50,
but
was it 50 mil or
Yeah,
something?
something like
yeah,
that, yeah.
exactly. So he's a very,
That was
very
Ajax.
expensive player.
That's Ajax, that is. We wouldn't have paid 50 million. That was Ajax.
Yeah. But guys, thank you for coming. And I'm not sure when I'm going to do another show. I might not do one now for a few days or maybe even a week. It's international break.
Yeah, you need to
So,
take a rest, man. You've been working all through.
yeah,
Up
I
to
know.
3 shows in 1 week,
I've been
bro.
doing most of
That's a
them.
good one.
Three,
I've been out
three,
for that as
3
well,
days.
doing the rest.
Yeah, but yeah,
That's a good one.
I'll probably do one. I might do one next week. I don't know.
Please, anytime you need me, David, just place
Yeah.
a call to me. We can talk
Yeah.
about anything. The
All right,
English
thanks.
team,
Yeah.
the international games, the gaming
Yeah.
channel will be with us too. We could do
Yeah.
this, man.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys, and please, anybody watching, like, comment, and
subscribe.
just share about. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And please,